Hello, Gary Simon here of DesignCourse.com. Today is February 6th and we have our second video of the business card design. So yesterday we created a business card design for a front and back in Adobe Illustrator CC, and today we're going to use Photoshop to take those two front and back business cards and kind of create a cool perspective 3D-ish type of view, presentation of the business cards basically. Alright, so if you need access to the project files, they're available for free here in YouTube, down in the description. And if you haven't yet, check out DesignCourse.com and subscribe here on YouTube. Alright, let's get started. Alright, so now we're going to take this and get started by going to Photoshop here. No, we don't want to file new. We'll go to File, Open, and we will open up the back.ai and the front-outline. So hit Open. And everything basically stays the same on this dialog. So 300 and 3.75, 2.25, hit OK, and OK again for the second one. So now I'm going to just take the back, hit Control A, Control C to copy everything, and paste it in here. All right, so now this is not the actual size of what the business card would be. It's a little bit too big because of the bleed. So with the rectangular marquee tool selected, come up here, specify 3.5 IN for inches by 2 inches for the height. So we can just click once right around there, and that gives us that exact dimensions. You can use your arrow key to kind of adjust this and eyeball it, kind of to where it would be when it's cut. So this is where it's actually going to be cut. So now we hit Control C to copy this, Control N, actually, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to change this real quick to 860 by 600 and make the resolution 72. If I hit OK and I hit Control 1, I know for my resolution at 1280 by 720 for these tutorials, this fits 100% and it kind of just fills up the whole area. So then I'm just going to hit Control V to paste that in, and then just click down here for the front card layer, hit Control C, Control V to paste that in as well. Then I'm going to take both and scale them down. So Control T. And we're going to scale it down to right around there, I'd say. Select the Move tool, hit Apply. Control Shift N for a new layer, drag it to the bottom. And we want the background color to be a little bit darker than this white so we can see it. So we'll fill that in with the Paint Bucket tool. And now we can only see, the back is behind it. That's why we can't see it. So what we want to do is go ahead and take both of these layers, holding Shift and selecting both, and we'll go to Edit, Transform, Distort. And take this upper right and just very slightly push it in. And then just go to Edit, Free Transform, and just kind of tilt it to the right a little bit. All right, select the Move tool and hit Apply. All right, and then what we want to do is take the bottom layer, and we can leave it maybe around there. And then what we want to do is create some kind of like shadows just to make this look more 3D in a sense. So Control Shift N for a new layer, hit OK or Enter. Take the brush tool and we'll make this kind of large, like around 472. And then we'll make the color darker, maybe around there. Just click in the middle once, hit Control T, hold Alt and scale this down. And then hold Alt again and really drag it out here. Select the Move tool, hit Apply, take the opacity down. All right, and then we're going to create another layer. Control Shift N, hit Enter. We'll take our brush tool again, down around 150. Click once, and hit Control T. Hold Alt and scale that thing down a bit. We'll position it right around there. Take the eraser tool, kind of get rid of this outer edge just a tad bit, so it looks a little bit more natural, I guess you could say. And take the opacity down a little bit more. Duplicate this, Control-Shift-D, or just right-click and hit Duplicate Layer. Okay. Take the Move tool, move this thing over. And if you want, you could probably extend these a little bit longer. So, Control-T. All right, so we're not quite done yet because this back card is behind the front. We could probably add a little bit of a shadow and also maybe add somewhat of like a shadow on the right portions of these cards. So what I want to do is take this top one, we'll call this front, double clicking the name, and Control-Shift-N, use previous layer to create a clipping mask, hit OK. And we can take the gradient tool, and we'll go dark here. And also make sure this is the preset foreground to transparent. And then you can take the opacity down just a little bit. That way it gives us just some shading going on there. And we could do the same thing to the back, which we can rename to back. Control-Shift-N, Tab space just to click this real quick for clipping mask, hit OK. And we'll do the same thing. All right, and then finally, for one final kind of touch, I guess you could call it, Control-Shift-N on top of this layer 7 that we created. Make it another clipping mask. And let's see if we can try to make kind of like a shadowy type of thing. You could use the paintbrush. You can see how this kind of works. But I don't like that. So what we can use is the pen tool, make sure shape is selected, and kind of just go click right here, and then maybe just have it fade out a little bit more up there. And connect it right there, Control-H. We can right click, rasterize that. Go to, well, let's see, we can do this manually with the blur tool. Get a bigger size. The strength is at 100. Obviously take this down quite a bit. All right, and then if, that's a little bit too close, so we can take the move tool, take our arrow keys, kind of just move that up, and there we have a very faint sort of shadow thing that's casting onto the back from the front. All right, so that looks pretty cool. Let's see here, Alt. So that's basically what this thing looks like, and it looks, kind of cool. It's a way that you can present your different type of identity if you ever do identity design. And I'm planning on releasing a visual identity course at designcourse.com. It's not up at the time of recording this, but depending on when you're watching, it might be. So head on over there, and that will give you a very solid understanding, not just business cards, but letterheads, logo design, visual identity design as a whole. So as always, check out designcourse.com, and if you haven't yet, subscribe here on YouTube and the other social networks if you wish. So I will see you tomorrow with a new tutorial. All right, goodbye.